In the top stories, Prime Minister Drew reiterates commitment to WHO goals and advocates for Taiwan's inclusion. Trinidad opposition leader criticizes Biden administration. And Trump ends affirmative action in federal hiring. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025. I'm your presenter, Shanique Garvey. Nationally, Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Terence Drew has reaffirmed St. Kitts and Nevis's commitment to the World Health Organization or WHO's mission while addressing pressing global health challenges, including the resurgence of mpox across multiple continents. During a statement ahead of the WHO Executive Board's 156th session, scheduled for February 3rd to 11th, Dr. Drew underscored the necessity of resilient health systems, emergency preparedness, and progress toward WHO's triple billion targets. Highlighting Taiwan as a model partner in global health, Dr. Drew called for its inclusion in WHO technical meetings and activities, as well as observer status at the World Health Assembly. He noted that Taiwan's national health insurance system, chronic disease programs, and traditional medicine integration exemplify its contributions to WHO's objectives. Dr. Drew detailed Taiwan's achievements, including its success in maintaining polio-free status since 2000, advancing climate change resilience, and its proactive stance on pandemic preparedness. He stressed that Taiwan's inclusion in the WHO frameworks would enhance global health security and equity. Dr. Drew said global health requires every capable and willing partner at the table. He urged global leaders to work collaboratively to ensure no nation or health challenge is overlooked. The permanent mission of St. Kitts and Nevis, led by Ambassador Dr. Mutrice Williams, recently hosted a high school delegation from Indonesia attending the 2025 Columbia University Model United Nations Conference and Exposition in New York. Dr. Williams emphasized youth empowerment, encouraging students to remain curious and open-minded throughout their development. She praised the United Nations for its role in promoting sustainable development and youth resilience, especially for women and girls. Ambassador Donna Francis, also in attendance, highlighted the value of cultural and generational exchange, noting his experiences as a former teacher. The event brought together students worldwide for challenging debates and discussions on global issues. Dr. Williams encouraged youth from St. Kitts and Nevis to pursue similar opportunities to develop leadership skills and engage with international issues. The conference ran from January 16th to 19th. The West Indies women suffered a 60-run defeat at the hands of Bangladesh in the second one-day international at Warner Park on Tuesday night. With the series up for grabs, spin bowler Karishma Ramharak says the team is not under any pressure heading into the third and final game, but need to find ways to bat better.
I don't think there's any pressure. I just think, again, we need to, sit down and think about the way we go about our batting, apply ourselves and come out and execute. I don't think.
The final game at Warner Park is on Friday. Well, the final game at Warner Park on Friday bowls off at 2 p.m. We move now to news on the regional scene. Opposition leader of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamla Persad Bissessar, has sharply criticized former U.S. President Joe Biden's administration, labeling its policies as woke, far-left extreme insanity, and advocating for a shift toward common-sense governance. In a statement, Persad Bissessar accused the Biden administration of promoting divisive identity politics and undermining societal unity. She highlighted several concerns, including gender reassignment for minors without parental consent, drag queen performances in schools, and the inclusion of biological men in women's sports. She also linked Biden's policies to broader issues like inflation, crime, and cancel culture, while condemning the U.S. response to international crises such as the deaths of children in Gaza. Despite backlash, Prasad Bisasar remains firm in her criticism, calling for governance based on fairness, balance, and personal freedom. And finally, in regional news, the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines has applauded former U.S. President Joe Biden's executive pardon of Marcus Messiah Garvey while urging his full exoneration by the United Nations. The pardon, issued on January 19, 2025, addresses what the government described as a politically motivated and unjust 1923 mail fraud conviction. At the time, Garvey served as president of the Universal Negro Improvement Association, UNIA, and remains a national hero of Jamaica. Calling for congressional action to fully exonerate Garvey, the government praised Congresswoman Yvette Clarke for leading legislative efforts to overturn the conviction. The statement highlighted ongoing international advocacy for Garvey's justice and commended President Biden for the pardon, reaffirming its commitment to pursuing full exoneration. Internationally, President Donald Trump's administration moved Tuesday to end affirmative action in federal contracting and dismantle diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, programs. Federal DEI staff were placed on paid leave with layoffs planned, and agencies were directed to remove DEI-focused web pages and cancel related contracts. The move followed Trump's executive order eliminating DEI programs, which he called discriminatory, in favor of merit-based hiring. The order revokes initiatives established by previous administrations, including anti-bias training and minority-focused funding. Federal agencies must now review grants and contracts for compliance with the new directive, and staff failing to report renamed DEI programs face penalties. Critics argue the sweeping changes will be difficult to fully implement. Israel's top general, Lieutenant General Herzi Halevi, resigned on Tuesday, accepting responsibility for the security lapses surrounding Hamas's surprise attack on October 7, 2023, which led to the ongoing conflict in Gaza. His resignation adds to the growing pressure on Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who has faced criticism for delaying a public inquiry that could implicate his leadership. The attack, which remains the deadliest in Israel's history, saw Hamas militants launch a combined land, sea, and air assault on southern Israel, killing around 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and kidnapping over 250 individuals. As of now, more than 90 captives are still held in Gaza, with many believed to be dead. While a fragile ceasefire in Gaza held, Israel launched a significant and broad military operation in the occupied West Bank, resulting in at least 9 deaths and 40 injuries, according to Palestinian officials. And now for the weather. Present weather is cloudy skies with showers in the vicinity. Winds are a gentle breeze of 8 miles per hour from the northeast. The temperature for today is 27 degrees Celsius or 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Seas are 1.8 to 2.8 meters or 6 to 9 feet, with swells reaching 1.8 meters or 6 feet. Therefore, a high surf advisory and a small craft advisory both remain in effect. Weather forecast for today and tonight predicts partly cloudy skies with brief cloudy spells and a 60% or moderate chance of brief passing showers. Sunset for today will be at 6:01 p.m. and sunrise for tomorrow will be at 6:44 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your presenter, Shanique Garvey.